Good evening, Garage Gang. What is going on? I'm flying solo tonight. It's only me. You got Mr. Christian back east, but we got so much to cover, so much happening. I hope you guys are having a fantastic evening. Let's talk about it. You got right now, it is Tuesday, May 6th. And I feel like if you're on the East Coast right now where Christian is, it is Wednesday, May 7th. Sorry for the late show. I got, like I said, I was coding. I was working on AgentFi AI. Some of you guys know it's a project that I have been playing with, and I've got, some new developments I've been trying to get really to take, and it's been a little slower than I thought, but I feel like I'm making good progress. Anyway, let's talk about where we're at, what's happening in the world, because I got an exciting show. We got a lot of news. We got tomorrow, we have the Jerome Powell, he's going to actually speak, so we'll see how that goes. He's a market mover. Hopefully, I've got a lot of times he usually moves it in the wrong direction, but we'll see. Let's kick it off. Let's kick it under the hood, guys. We'll talk about BTC. BTC right now, as we're speaking, is charting at $96,569. Not bad, right? You've got Ethereum at 1816, Solana at a cool 146, XRP at $2.14, about to be $2.15, and Tau, BitTensor. I always talk good about BitTensor. I like watching it. Nice AI play, and he's trading at about 381. I don't know why I call him he, maybe she, who knows. But BitTensor trading at 381. And I've done a lot of videos on BitTensor. If you want to look under the hood, you can go back in some of my previous videos, but I try and break down. I've actually changed the name of my deep dives. They're now my token teardowns. Where we get under the hood, I get under the carriage, and I try to explain to you exactly what each token is doing, what's happening, what the ecosystem look like, and I do a little math, right? We have a little fun with it, what it looks like if it takes off, and who's actually behind the project, because that is really important in crypto. Who's pulling the strings, and is the dev team a real team, or are they just, as a kind of a joke? Because if you understand, the coins that we're hitting in the last bull run are not really hitting anymore, and the reason is a lot of the tech isn't good, right? A lot of the tech has failed, a lot of the tech has been left behind. But you got some coins that were in the last bull run that are still performing quite well. You got Cardano, right? I mean, I know he's slowed. Everyone gives Charles a hard time, but Cardano is steady Eddie. I mean, he's still making improvements. I mean, I'm a firm believer in Cardano. I think what Charles is doing is actually really strong. I know I talked a lot of crap in the past, but not in a bad way. I just was like, hey, let's move. He sat at the same kind of 30 cents, and I had a big bag of Cardano at one time. But anyway, let's talk about that. So let's just go with macro and ETF flow check-in. So right now, BlackRock put in a whole $531 million in BTC added this week alone. That's big. One company, BlackRock alone. ARK Investments loading quietly with their spot ETF bags. You've got Brown University. This is kind of crazy. You got the schools now. Brown University picked up $5 million in IBIT, right? Wall Street isn't just in, guys. I'm telling you right now, they're not in, right? They're all in, and they're not really tweeting about it. That's what's crazy. They're just out there executing. They're buying. They're not talking about it, but they're buying. And you got to remember, these are the big minds. I'm talking the big money, the trying to do as I do money. These are the big wallets happening, right? So you've got now states and nations are in the game, right? That's insane. You got New Hampshire in. As of today, New Hampshire is the first official state with a Bitcoin reserve. Talk about super strong. You've got Louisiana. They've been accepting Bitcoin for years. You've got Florida. You've got Arizona that's about to become is trying to get completely approved. So these are states that are having Bitcoin-backed reserves. They are going to actually have their own strategic reserve of Bitcoin. Think about that for a second. And they're not like they're going to go in with, we're going to buy 1 million. They're going to buy hundreds of millions, right? This is something that they're planning to be an asset, and it is going to be an asset. It's an own asset class. So El Salvador, right? El Salvador was the first country. They used to call it Bitcoin City, and he's still accumulating Bitcoin on his balance sheet, right? So you got governments, corporations. They're already in for the long game. Retail is barely waking up. And I'm telling you, people are talking about this is not like the normal bull run. It's not like the normal, I don't want to say session, right? It's not the normal. Everything isn't playing out like it normally does, right? So, but it's a little bit different right now with all the institutional buys that's happening. They're treating it a little bit different. So we'll talk about, I'm going to go through memes real quick. I want to talk about Bitcoin. I'm going to talk about the supply chain. I want to talk about a couple of things. So stay at the end of the video. My new videos, I'm really trying to break down Bitcoin and crypto, make it easy for everyone to understand, right? I know I got a lot of people that watch that are in the car business, and a lot of people that are in all kinds of different fields. So I try and make it the regular guys breakdown of what this is all about. Anyway, GPT Dodge today in the meme field had a 20% rise. It's an AI and meme momentum is carrying on right now. You can't go wrong with the memes. Colon AI, I actually like Colon. I'm invested in the project. Again, not financial advice. Don't do what I say. I just bringing it up. They had a 30% pump, right? They had a dev update today. AgentFi is really building up fast. I mean, I talk about it all the time. AI agents, that's basically what AutoGuru AI is an AI agent. Won't be surprised if AutoGuru AI tries to drop its own coin soon. I mean, it really tried to do the whole show tonight. And if I don't like the way this sounds, it may do the whole show tonight. Anyway, so we'll see. Abstract. I hope you guys are looking at the Abstract. Abstract is a layer 1 that is really heating up. They've got a lot going on, and Abstract really built on the ZK network, and it's really a layer that is built for agents. If you understand what I'm talking about. So this, and I am actually going to do a token teardown on Abstract, even though there is no token behind Abstract. It's really like Base. There's no token around Base either. So Abstract but it's up and coming layer 1, and you've got a lot of good projects coming on it. I want to say the Penguins, the Pudgy Penguins is built on that. They got a whole metaverse that are going to do on that. So a lot of cool projects coming on Abstract. We'll talk more about that later. Pepe had a 5% bounce. Is it frog season again? Who knows? Frog, dog, cat. I mean, we've got so much going on right now. Rocket ship, fart coins. I mean, that's who knows? I mean, I love the degens. I mean, they're awesome. You almost want to get the craziest unicorn fart deal, and that coin is going to pop, right? So, but I wouldn't hold it very long, but it will pop. There's no tech behind it. This is just pure hype, right? That's basically what you're buying in a lot of these coins, right? It's narrative and hype, But I like to look at stuff for the long term because I know everyone's in the hype game right now. But as the bull run really starts to unleash, and when this bull run does make itself apparent, and it will, because I don't think we've even started this bull run. I don't think, some people say it was a false bull. It started and already stopped. Bitcoin topped. Bitcoin didn't top at anything. Look at Bitcoin right now. It's already back at 96K. I mean, we were just at 70K. Everyone was telling me the sky was falling. I'm like, hey, just another Tuesday. The sky ain't falling. Right. So, hey, I'm a firm Bitcoin believer, and I'm just trying to stack everything I can while these prices are low. Because I'm telling you right now, and once you listen to the end of the video, because I'm going to go over it, and I think I got a pretty good comparison that might make it easier for most guys to understand. Anyway, GameFi and AI crossovers. I would definitely want to talk about GameFi because it's a big deal. I personally am not a huge gamer. I love games. I just love the graphics. I used to actually sit back and watch my kids play. Thomas and Christian, they are fantastic gamers. I mean, they are so good. They love that Call of Duty. I watch them play Call of Duty, but I used to like the games when they had the story behind it. I was going to tell you guys, I was a World of Warcraft guy. I used to like strategy games, and I used to enjoy that. I played with one of my best friends all the time. Rest in peace, my boy Claw. But he was a good dude, and we used to play games all the time. So, I don't really, like I said, I don't play, but I do keep track of what's going on because I do believe that is going to be a huge narrative when it does happen. Just because I know how much my kid spends in skins and how much he grinds me. Every good report card, every good deed, it's all about Robux, a skin for this, a Fortnite skin, something. So I think that's all going to pull over into the crypto field, right? So when it does, and it will soon. I want to say GTA. I know GTA got pushed back a little bit, but I want to say there is supposedly some big crypto. I think it's built on blockchain. That's what I'm hearing. I don't have any. I can't make that 100% confirmation. Maybe they'll probably announce something about that in Bitcoin conference. We're pumped up. I know Christian's pumped up. That's why he's back east this week. We'll be doing Bitcoin in a few weeks. I hope to see some of you guys out there. Hit us up, right? Anyway, let's talk about what's going on. in Pixel. Actually, the Pixel's a good movie, by the way. Pixels, DAU at 150,000 plus. And if you do not know what DAU is, that's the daily active users, right? So how many people are actually logging in and using the game? The network's on Ronin, and a new event drops tomorrow on it, right? So we'll see what's going on. Pixels is really picking up. Pixels is picking. The TA on Pixels, it's sitting at about 35 cents. It's got a resistance of about 45 cents. Above 39, it could push to 50 on hype momentum alone. We'll see how that goes, right? But it could be a buy the, what do they call it? Buy the rumor, sell the news event with tomorrow's launch. So we'll see how that goes. But it's really starting to move. Illuvium, ILV, sitting at $13.72. New beta gameplay trailer out, right? So they got a lot going on. There was a time Illuvium, I want to say, was trading at almost a couple $100. I want to say a few $100 a coin. It's insane, right? So it's far from all-time highs. But right now it's supporting $12.50. I was looking at it earlier. I have the chart up. The resistance is about $15, and the breakout zone's $15. If it breaks through the 15, I see a possible $18 push, and we'll talk from there. But Solana, a lot of GameFi happening on the Solana network. Solana's, like I always talk about, Solana's one of my most exciting networks. Right now, Solana is most of the TVL on Solana is basically memes. But I believe with GameFi really launching, you got games like Elderune coming, Moonscape is happening, Illumia showing early signs, right? So NFT versus peer, Quest, fast liquidity rotation. So we'll see how that all goes, right? And on Solana, get in early. There's a lot of stuff going on Solana, right? I talk about it right now. If you look at the amount of wallets that are growing on Solana daily, just because of the meme trading and so many people getting into it, it's actually insane. And there's so many different platforms that you can trade on Solana. But Solana right now, like I said, is trading at about $146. I mean, you could have bought this morning at, I want to say it was a low of 141. But again, get in 20 to 50%. You just look there. There's definitely some good scalps on Solana. AI and gaming world. So you got in-world AI, Google Cloud, NVIDIA building smart agents. A lot of going on, right? AutoQuest, Reactive, and NPCs, right? So Web3 gamers becoming self-generating experience, right? So what's happening is Web3 gaming, the AI is actually building its own gaming. So there's a lot happening in this sector, and it could get crazy quickly. So watch this sector, guys. I think we're in a pre-viral GameFi 2.0. I really do. I think when gaming pops, it's going to pop hard. I always talk about off the grid. I love off the grid. I think the graphics are amazing. That's built on the Avalanche network, and they've actually launched their own token. I talked about that in one of my other shows, Guns, for Gunzilla. That's the manufacturer of the game. It's actually really cool, and I've done really well in Guns. I bought some Guns early, and it's done me really well. Technical trade watch. So let's just talk about BTC. We'll talk about support and resistance. Again, none of this is financial advice. You do you. And if you're going to play with any leverage, be careful, right? You will get wrecked. So again, just going to tell you what I see. Right now, we're popping off at about 96,467, right? I see the support at about 95.2. Still range bound. It's a breakout. I see a breakout above 97K, sends it flying, right? If we go above 97K, I almost see a straight shot. We're going to above 97. I see us shooting 100 pretty quickly. But again, don't take anything I say as financial advice. Ether is trading at 1826, right? So I see the entry, just keep your eye on it because we'll be here again soon. Somewhere between 1814 and 1819. I easy take profit at 1880 or 2020. Long buy signal was filed today, right? I actually did a long earlier at 1777 and got out at 1820. So it was nice. It was a nice little long. I put it in this morning. Probably should have stayed in. I didn't see it going this high, right? Right. I just ate, but I learned my lesson. Get while the getting's good, right? It's either get or get got. And I don't love to play with leverage all the time. So, but it is fun every now and then, right? I think I turned 100 and like 450, $500 almost. Anyway, by the time you take the fees out. Solana, lower highs forming, right? So Solana's getting a little bit of a pullback. I think it needs to reclaim that 147 before you see a bullish flip, right? So, but we'll talk about that. And XRP, I see the entry in XRP probably around $2.14 even. And the target would probably 215, 216 for a quick scalp. Nothing really huge. But I'm telling you guys, when XRP actually pops, it's going to pop hard, right? These are my under the radar alpha picks right now. So these are the under the radar, under the hood. These are what I see and the projects that I think are really going to go with low market caps. I like Colon AI. Again, dev team is developing. You've got in Colon. If you're followed on X, it's an AI that's basically a social AI. It's posting daily. It makes me laugh. Actually, I think that's why I like it. GPT Dodge. It's writing AI meme. It's writing AI and meme perfectly, right? And you got ABS NFT fusion play with early liquidity, right? So we'll talk about that, and then let's talk about Bitcoin, guys. So, all right, Garage Gang. Excuse me, I can get a quick sip, and then we'll go over this because I told you guys I wanted to talk about BTC. In my take, so here it is. Bitcoin is just a coin. So I want you to let's take Bitcoin and put it as like the rarest car ever made. Right? We're gonna call it the Bitcoin GT. Okay, just to break it to car terms. So instead of 21 million Bitcoin, let's just bring it down to 21,000 Bitcoin. So 21,000 of these Bitcoin GTs are ever going to be built. Okay, this make it easy for everyone to understand. But guess what? We're right now where we're at. 4,000 of those Bitcoin or the GTs have already been wrecked. Lost the keys, the burned drives, they're gone forever. Those things are total loss, exploded in the water, whatever. Cars are gone, right? So 4,000 were wrecked. So you got 17,000 that are ever going to be built. Not all of them are built yet, but ever going to be built. And most of those are parked in a cold storage garage, right? By whales, companies, and governments. Let's just figure that, right? They've been seized, whatever. These are like Ferraris. I would consider it like that, right? So only 2,500 Bitcoin are left on the exchange. If we're using the same math, 21 million to 21,000. Only 2,500 Bitcoin are left on the exchanges as we speak. Only 450 are mined out per day. Okay. And the world has 56 million millionaires in the world. Okay. 56 million millionaires. So if each of these millionaires wanted to buy just one BTC, they can't have it. Think about that for a second. If every millionaire in the world said, you know what, I want a BTC right now, they can't have it. There's not enough. Right. So it would cause everything to go crazy. And that's the truth. Okay. That's the truth they really don't want you to realize, right? So what do? They run crazy headlines. They try and scare you, all right? They shake you out. They flash red candles to shake you out. They dump it on purpose. And then what are they doing? So they're dumping it, which gets the retail guy to dump it, and then they buy it back. They literally buy it back off the counter, so which if you don't understand what that means, so they're buying it back where you don't get to see it. So it doesn't affect the price. The only guys affecting the price are the retail guys. So I want you to think about this. Now you can watch this happening on chain. That's the nice thing about it. It's all on a ledger. All right. So one day soon, okay, I want to walk through this. The supply on exchanges will hit zero. Okay. No listing, no sellers, just whales and governments holding tight. And when the supply meets demand, which is coming, it's not a sale anymore. It's not an auction. It's not a sale. It's more of an auction. Think about this right now. It's like Meekum. That's what these guys are all waiting for. So when there is no more left on chain, think this out, right? When the 21,000 Bitcoin GTs are all sold and you cannot get any more, which is coming. You won't be able to get them on chain. Everything else is pre-order. You know what I mean? So it's all they're having. They're all pre-sold with $10,000, $15,000 markups. Think about that right now. Each one of these are in the markup is going up as the car is getting closer. So each of those 450 that are getting mined every single day are already pre-sold. Think that out. Millionaires, hedge funds, and sovereign nations are all bidding for your bags right now. And right now, states are bidding for your bags. And you, if you held, you're not a trader, you're now a collector. Think this out. And you're going to be setting the price. Right? It's coming, guys. It's coming. This is Guru's Crypto Garage. I want you to think that out. This is Guru's Crypto Garage, guys. We don't sell into fear. We don't hold under pressure. We don't fold under pressure. You know, we wrench through chaos and we ride through throttle. You know, all I got to tell you is follow us at Guru's Crypto Garage. Subscribe for daily alpha. I hope you guys are having a great night. Sorry for the long video. I hope I got the point across. You know, I feel like I lost a little bit on the 21,000 Bitcoin GTs, but you kind of get the gist of it. The bottom line is this. They're basically trying to fool you. And if you watch the on-chain data, they get you to sell, but there's always someone buying. And the supply on chain is getting lower and lower and lower. So when it's going to come, guys. And when it comes, it's going to be like the biggest supply shock anyone's ever seen. I hope you guys are having a fantastic night. Be blessed. And we'll see you tomorrow.